Space is not a dreamy place, and it is not as calm as it may seem from Earth's perspective. In our astronomical neighbors, it is chaotic, and has been since the dawn of time. Even the sun we see as a bright ball of light in the sky may not be as friendly as it seems. The sun creates magnetic fields that generate sunspots several times larger than the Earth, and these spots open streams of radioactive particles called solar wind. Solar winds lead to solar storms that can prove to be 100 times more deadly and devastating than the storms we see here on Earth. But why haven't you seen any in the past? Is it just a theory? Or is it something that will happen eventually, but not as soon as you think, as the inevitable death of our sun? It may not sound too serious right now, but could a solar storm end life here on Earth? To answer this question, we must first understand how solar storms form and what risks are involved if it were to happen in this area. Sun flares are formed due to the electromagnetic activity of the sun. Gases create activity on the sun's surface, and as they constantly move around, it builds up magnetic energy and forms electricity. This electricity creates more magnetic energy, and this process continues further. The areas where the magnetic field is stronger than other areas of the sun's surface become cool and appear dark. The magnetic field is so strong that it traps heat from the surface. Whenever the magnetic fields near the sunspots tangle, they cause an explosion of energy called solar flares. These solar flares often accompany coronal mass ejections, CME, extreme bubbles of radioactive particles that go remarkably high up in space, often reaching or even passing Earth. When these particles reach Earth, most of them are deflected by the Earth's magnetic field. Those particles which escape at the North Pole drop down on the Earth, creating beautiful auroras. The particles that miss the Earth create a long tail on the magnetic field behind us, and when it becomes too heavy, it breaks apart, creating an electromagnetic explosion on Earth. Normally, the effects recorded cause the disruption in radio signals, but the consequences of massive eruptions can worsen, and it will not be the first one. In 1989, the worst CME event to strike Earth was recorded. It fried a New Jersey transformer and left 6 million people in Quebec without power. The largest event on record is called the Carrington event in 1859, and it is said to be at least 10 times more intense. It sent searing currents through telegraph cables, sparked fires, and shocked operators. Meanwhile, the northern lights danced as far south as Cuba. Although we may prepare ourselves for the next threat, we are in more harm now than we've ever been previously. Everything that humans rely on today runs on electricity, and this dependency can cost us more than we can imagine. A major event can occur within the next few decades, and research suggests that Carrington-like solar storms strike Earth once every few centuries. A recent study found there is a 12% chance that another storm will occur within the next decade. It will halt all things that depends on electricity to run, from water pumps to supply chains. Everything will collapse, and these are just the small things we count on the surface. Hospitals will be without power, and everything that is needed to govern the world will no longer exist. Our world will fall into a big catastrophe with people all over panicking, and any debate that everyone will stay calm can easily be ruled out. We will be able to see it coming though. The solar telescopes can pick up the incoming flow, and we may receive warnings about 30 to 50 minutes before Earth will flow through the storm like a rock in a river stream. However, we may never be able to recover from a storm like this. The cost of recovering from damages caused is estimated to be roughly $4 trillion just in the US alone. Our best chance of surviving such a catastrophic storm is by avoiding it altogether. We all know that a 10-kilometer wide asteroid ended it for all the dinosaurs. Still, even a fraction of that size can devastate humanity once and for all. Imagine millions and billions of tiny particles penetrating everything on their way, traveling at the speed of light. Humanity's best chance of surviving is through our luck that our planet stays out of the path of any space storms that may occur in the future. What are your thoughts? Is there any way we can save ourselves from such a disaster? Share your ideas in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe for more to come. I will see you in the next one.